Here we go again at the landing page of the portal here. So we're going to be logged in, and we're going to look at doing your renewal. So you've already went through, entered in all your training, everything, verified that your hours, that your requirement is 0. The unfortunate thing is I did not do a video before I submitted mine. I've already renewed, but it's pretty straightforward. So you go down here to applications. You're going to go to view my applications. And if it's time for you to renew, it's going to be right here in this area. It's going to be either the third one down to this point or within the fifth one. And it's going to say renewal of certification. And you're going to click apply now. It's going to bring you to a landing page where you're going to verify your information. And it's going to go through about 3 pages of questions asking you about what type of service you work for, if you work full-time, part-time, paid service, paid per call, all that type of stuff. If you have to do on duty call, or if it's just where you work shifts. After that's all said and done, you're going to go through that whole process. It's going to verify that your hours are in there. You no longer, thankfully, have to remember and write down your hours to enter them in for verification. It pulls them directly from your training log. And then you're going to hit submit. Then it's going to bring you to a page, and it's going to pull up for to pay. And you're going to end up doing a very simple, whether you're going to pay online or send them a money order or check to the Board of EMS. They prefer if you do it online. I will tell you that here in the near future, their plans are to make everybody do all submissions via online. That's from the Board of EMS. So whether you're doing continuing education, renewal, initials, getting a new certification, all that stuff is going to be online. So I do know some people that still do it the old way. They mail in the paper form every year, they get audited, and then they send in their training records. They think that they're creating more work for the Board of EMS. They are, but they're also creating more work for themselves. The board is pushing to an all online status. So with that being said, though, with the board pushing to all online, when you submit everything online, they become the custodian of the records. Anybody that's done training, done classes, understands that you have to keep records for at least 3 years. Now that the Board of EMS is doing this all electronically, they become the custodian of the records, and they're required to keep them for 3 years. They have said that basically once they have accepted that record online and issued the training hours for it, that record becomes their responsibility. Now, I'm going to tell you that at that point, I would still keep it for the 2-year research cycle, and then basically the 1 more year for that you could be audited just in case. It's a government agency. They could always come back and say it's not their fault, not their problem, and it's better safe than sorry. But they do become the custodian of the records after that point, so that's a good thing. When you're all said and done, you'll go to a checkout screen, and it will look like this, except it will say that you have an amount due. Depending on your level of certification, it'll say how much. You'll click on it, and you'll have the ability to use your credit or debit card or PayPal, I believe, to pay that total, or you can send in a money order or check to the Board of EMS. They prefer if you just go ahead and pay online. It is almost instantaneous as far as them pulling the money out, and depending on the day of the week and the time that you do it, you could get your renewed certification within 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 days. For the most part, it's usually within the day. If it's on a weekend, it'll usually be the first business day after they're open and processed. So it shouldn't be an issue. If you have any questions, any problems with this, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll walk you through it. But it's pretty straightforward. You create that application, go step by step, submit everything, make sure there's no discrepancies in it, and then it'll bring you to a checkout page after you hit submit. And this will normally say your certification. So if it's paramedic, it'll say paramedic renewal, application date, total amount due, and then you'll just click pay now. When that's all said and done, it will go into your history, and you'll be able to do all that. You can always go back and review any of your transactions and applications. So when they're all said and done, you can go back in here and look at any of the stuff that you've actually entered in or things that have been entered in on your behalf, and you can review the PDFs of them. So again, not some people like to do that. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Other than that, this takes care of this tutorial. I will also say that I will have included the PDFs. We'll go ahead and click on the Board of EMS page here real quick, and I'll show you real quick. So there is a PDF right here on their homepage. Come down right here under License Portal How-To Tutorials. Initial login, claiming your account. If you don't know how, this is where you would claim it at. Everybody by now should have already claimed it. Any newly certified and all had to do this for their initial certification. So CE submission here, there's a PDF. It'll pull up. How to submit your continuing education. It is a step-by-step process. Again, like I said, it's static. It just kind of shows you, outlines these boxes, shows you where to go. My applications, apply now. Again, verify your information. Scroll on down, select your training. These are included. I've just also shown you where to look for them. There's also how to check your training report. So there shouldn't be no issues there. Again, it shows you how to check your training report. And again, it says verify the date range and verify the certification level. That is one of the hiccups that they have identified in the system, that does not always have the correct information, and you may have to change it. Just verify off your last card of when you renewed, and go to the end of the current year research cycle, which will always be the 31st of that year. Again, verify all your times, all the different hours that you have in here, and then go on down. So again, at the bottom, you'll see it tells you again to verify, check your training totals. Other than that, you can always look at all your different trainings. A lot of information to be had if you so choose to look through it all. Pretty straightforward, adding in your own trainings, doing your renewal, all your continuing education. If there's any questions, again, like I've said in the other videos, don't hesitate. Contact me. I'll walk you through it step by step. I'm more than happy to come in and do it at the station or at the quarters and walk you through it. I can do it. If you're at home, I can pretty much walk you through it too.